A 13-year-old shot dead in downtown Albuquerque on an early August morning, and another teen wounded in the leg. But why? With no clear motive, police say it seemed the suspects had vanished into thin air. But then, after hundreds of hours of sifting through video footage, a break in that case. News 13's Natalie Wattis rode along with APD and has the very latest on this case. Natalie?
Dean, this intersection behind me here at 5th and Cole is where the shooting occurred 2 months ago. And earlier this month, I accompanied APD as they arrested the suspect in Rio Rancho.
The victim was a 13-year-old boy. By all accounts, an innocent victim. Just seemed like he was hanging out with a couple friends of his, just driving around on a Saturday night. Kind of just hanging out and being a kid.
On August 18th, just before 3:30 in the morning, police were called out to a crash in downtown Albuquerque, but got diverted to a more serious scene near 5th Street and Cole Avenue.
The officers that were actually en route to the vehicle crash were flagged down and located the victim's vehicle that had been shot a significant number of times.
In the passenger seat, 13-year-old Michael Tubb was dead on the scene. His friend, also a teenager, was shot in the leg. The police report says surveillance cameras caught a car pull up next to the victims on the passenger side. Then a muzzle flash and sparks. Homicide Detective Jordan Monert's phone rang roughly an hour later.
I think it's important to treat every case with the same amount of importance, but it's hard not to have an emotional response to a 13-year-old child being murdered.
The case was a tricky one, Monert says, because there were no obvious leads, no connection between the victims and anyone who would want to hurt them.
It really had nothing to go off of to start this investigation, and that made it extremely difficult.
All they had was grainy footage of the car.
We had collected camera footage from, I think, probably well over 75 different cameras. And I spent a significant amount of time reviewing just hundreds of hours of video.
But none of the camera angles showed a license plate. And after IDing the car as a Lexus sedan and researching it from all angles with the digital intelligence team, the trail went cold.
Yeah, I really started to believe that this vehicle was just a ghost. It felt like it didn't exist.
At a loss for leads, Monart began checking Facebook Marketplace every day in hopes the sedan would show up. And then, more than a month after the crime, Monart spotted it.
It was definitely a sigh of relief just knowing that there was the potential for us to have located this vehicle that we spent so many hours just working to find.
Through vehicle registration and other data, police connected the car to 22-year-old Michael Flores. A search warrant on his phone put Flores near the scene of the crime, close to the time of the shooting. And by analyzing a photo of the car from Facebook, police were able to figure out where Flores was staying.
We are en route to the operation of the execution of a search warrant and hopefully the apprehension of an individual that currently has an arrest warrant.
News 13 tagged along as SWAT converged on Flores and arrested him. Another SWAT operation turned up the Lexus sedan, but the gun has not been found. While pieces of the investigation are coming together, there's still a huge unsolved question.
A very young juvenile victim that was brutally murdered and shot in downtown Albuquerque. We still, through the course of this investigation, haven't identified a motive yet.
Flores was indicted on account of first-degree murder and other charges. Police believe there are other people involved, and they are still investigating. Back to you.
All right, Natalie, thank you. Now, the judge released Flores on a GPS ankle monitor.